Hey, this is David Neese with EVworld.com, and with our new show today, we're going to be talking about electric vehicles, green energy, and the stock market. I want to welcome ProTrader Mike. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, GM, everybody. Hope you had a nice day today. Looking forward to the show.
One of the big arguments about people talking about electric vehicles is how expensive they are compared to buying an internal combustion engine car.
Hmm.
And I'm sure there may have been a little bias by this organization. Okay, so I take everything with a little bit of a grain of salt, regardless, because I try to be a little unbiased. I'm enthusiastic about, the future with electric vehicles and green energy. But it's interesting kind of to see. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at currently what's the cheapest way to buy a new car. And this research report I'm going to show actually shows that it's to lease an electric
Mm.
vehicle, which this was something I found very interesting because leasing is something that's typically under the radar as well. And you don't really think about this. So this report was done by Energy Innovations is the name of the organization. And so they're basically saying new car buyers looking to save the most money, the choice is clear. Lease an electric vehicle. Falling EV prices, new federal tax incentives for leased vehicles, and rising interest rates, coupled with lower operating and maintenance costs, make leasing a new EV the most affordable way to get a new car. Okay. Now, one of the things I've talked about before with electric vehicles is that in the United States, people tend to want a larger vehicle. And in fact, most households that are even considering this, where it's even on their radar to buy an electric vehicle, earn over $150,000 a year, which is more than double what the average household earns in the United States. So it's most people don't even have this on their radar. So now, what this study did was they evaluated leasing an EV versus buying it outright. They did not factor in the savings on gas and maintenance. So an EV is much cheaper. Now, maintenance, you don't typically, in the term of a lease, you may not be changing out the tires, or maybe you will. You may not do anything with the brakes. You're just mainly going to have oil changes generally during a lease period. So that where an EV really shines is when you go out longer term and you're not having to change a transmission, you're not having other types of timing belt replacements, a lot of other maintenance that's done on regular cars you don't have. So longer term, the EV gets even cheaper. But this is interesting. For certain models, leasing an EV is up to $500 per month cheaper than leasing the comparable gas vehicle. Now, in this case, they're comparing a Tesla Model Y to a BMW X4, which is on the luxury scale, probably a fairly comparable vehicle that's internal combustion. It's on average 425 bucks cheaper. The Mach E is $500 cheaper. I don't know if that's really to compare a Ford to a BMW is a fair evaluation. The Mach E is sort of a crossover between a Ford Mustang and a Ford Explorer built as an EV. The BMW i4 eDrive is $264 a month cheaper than a gasoline Kia Niro. So in some of these ones I'm going to show, the it's so for instance, a Ford F-150 gas versus Ford F-150 electric.
Hmm.
In other cases, it's a little different. Now, part of the savings is attributed to the $7,500 tax credit, which can be on leased EVs. This does not include any state rebates. This is strictly on the federal level. So if you were in California, for instance, these deals would be even better for you. Now, these are average monthly cost of leasing and financing during a certain period of time. And I'm going to look here. So here's a Ford F-150. And this is, we have here at the top, we have a gas lease, then an EV lease, gasoline own, or EV own. So EV own was cheaper the on this particular thing. The thing is, on the Ford F-150, they're comparing it to the XL model,
Hmm.
which It's a model you don't even see for sale generally at dealerships. It's the cheapest of the cheapest Ford F-150, but they're comparing it to the Lightning, which is, I'm sure, has better standard options than the base Ford
Yeah.
F-150. Now I'm going to go
You
a
got to
little
take
far.
advantage of those credits if they offer them to you, and you're on the fence of which way you should go.
Oh, absolutely. What's interesting here is the cheapest vehicle to operate. It looks like this Nissan Leaf, which looks like it's around 650 to $700 a month. It's just that the Leaf isn't that exciting of a car because it's a small
Hmm.
car. And we go way over here to this BMW 430, which is the gas vehicle, versus the i4, which is the electric version. And the EV lease is this one right in here, and that is the cheapest way to operate this vehicle. And that's what but that's still about 900 bucks a month. So that's not necessarily cheap, but if you're in that space, the equivalent gas vehicle is almost $1,200. So that's a pretty big savings. Let's look down a little farther. There, they talk a little bit in the article about the fact that you can get some other rebates. I'm going to scroll through this a little bit. I've read through this, and so under the Inflation Reduction Act, leased EVs are eligible for the $7,500 for the commercial clean vehicles credit. Of course, it's very specific as to which dealers and models because the vehicle has to be under $80,000 and it has to have the battery has to come from parts that are from countries that we have a free trade agreement that sits under certain stipulations. It's a complex formula to determine. But currently, the companies that are passing all of the tax incentive on to the people leasing are Hyundai, Kia, Volvo, Volkswagen, and BMW. So BMW and Volkswagen, Volvo all score pretty well in this particular study. Now, here, this is a little cleaner here. So this here shows that the Ford F-150, blue is gas, orange is EV. It shows the gas and the EV being almost the same. We're talking maybe a $25 difference. And so that's a little bit closer. That's the only one that's even remotely close. Here we have let's use the BMW, the 430i versus the i4 again. It's a $300 savings to go with the electric vehicle here. And there's similar deals. Here's a Kia Niro, saves almost $200 by being in the EV. The Hyundai Kona is a little bit cheaper, and the Kona SEL, look at what that looks like about $725 a month for a lease in that case. I'm not sure about this one. This is like a Chevy Malibu versus a Bolt. I'm not sure if that's a fair comparison. That's a bit of an issue. Sometimes are they comparing real apples to apples? But one of the things this isn't talking about is the lower cost of fuel. Going to get down to this a little bit more. Here's a chart. Same thing if you financed versus the lease, but the finance can get a little cheaper when you get out to a longer time period. But anyways, I found this was kind of fascinating that there was some good options on getting a cheaper vehicle. I mean, obviously, if you're doing a Bolt, or let's see, if you were doing a Chevy Bolt or Nissan Leaf, a Nissan Leaf monthly cost for the EV model, $405. That's not bad at all. 478, 500 for a Bolt. Tesla Model 3 only that 565, and the Y, which is the best-selling car in the world, at 705. That's really not that bad when you think of Tesla. You'd think they'd be a lot more expensive than that. So, anyways, I just thought that was kind of an interesting piece from what we've been seeing in the prices of electric vehicles and how affordable and unaffordable they are. Mike, do you want to? Should we go ahead and look at a couple of
Yeah,
EV
let's do
stocks?
that. Let's
Why
jump
don't
on over to the main screen and check out the All right, guys. So we are live. Let's check it out. We'll see what Tesla's doing too. We'll always start with the tests. Tesla's right on that VWAP line, went down there, the low. Give you guys a 212.36 for you guys keeping track of those prices. And yesterday on a recovery, hit a high of 240 and it's just sitting at 235 across this dotted line, which I believe is the VWAP, the value weighted line. So yeah, that's nice. Let's take a look at Ribbon. Last I looked was in the 21 range. It's 20.33, again sitting across this line right here, which is the VWAP. Let's get another one, which is the Mullen, guys. 44 cents. So yeah, we speak about this every day. It's just a great opportunity, I believe, down here. And as well, they got to do
What were we
something with that
figuring?
stock.
We think their book value right now is sitting around $3 or something like that.
$3 a share, yeah. And
It makes no sense.
yeah, they're going to do some sort of reverse split or something. Something's going to happen with that stock.
I'm
Let's
tell you
take a
one to look at today that's
ahead.
kind of interesting. Look at Lion Electric. It's LEV on the New York Stock Exchange.
There we go. Big spike
Yeah,
from $2 to $2.16.
yeah, it's up almost 7% today. I wonder what's going on there.
Take another look here. How about Ride? Another one. RIDE. Holding today. It's up. See this? What this could be Mullen. See how this is like right down here? There's nothing here, and all of a sudden it like popped, and then it made a huge spike here. I think this could be the same exact pattern as what Mullen's going to do with the company. They'll do like a reverse. It'll come up here. People will sell off, and then it'll do a big push and a spike up. And see how this one went to $7.
I just can't imagine though that they would do a reverse after they just did one in the past month.
And they do that, you know. You gotta, do what's right for the stock and the company,
Yeah,
You
everything
already
I see
jumped in
about.
the pool, so go up to do another dive, man. First one didn't work.
Oh no, I get it. I'm trying to
And
look to see
let's
if
take
there's.
another look. So that Mullen could be like Ride. See, MULN. Look at the right down here, and then you have this up here where it does a reverse. And yeah, Mullen used to be, guys, right here. Check it out, $100 stock.
It's crazy.
$100, man, on February of this year. It was $100.
Here's one to look at that we haven't ever looked at before. Look at VEV on the NASDAQ. VEV, Vincinity Motor. I'm
I
not
see
even
it. Yeah,
familiar with this company.
it's
They were
recovering today,
at a.
right on that line.
Doesn't look like they've ever really had a high value.
That GoEv went by yesterday a bunch of times. You had mentioned that in a vehicle stock, GoEv, Go
Yeah,
Electric.
it's
See, 4 days in a row, it's up
let's
for that one.
see. Interesting what we're seeing today. Not really huge shifts in the market on the major stocks though.
How about what's another good? You know what? Let's go check out my report. HYZN Heisen Motors back at $1.20. I picked it down here at 50 cents. AYRO, that one, remember?
Yeah.
63 cents. That one had made a spike and made a 52-week high about a month ago at 94, come down naturally. So yeah, that one looks pretty good too. AYRO. The other one was SEV. SEV. Let me just take a look. I'll tell you the symbols. My little model swing portfolio right here. So we have right here last month, guys. Let me go into July. It was last month. Fubo did amazing from $1.85 to $2.25 is $2.10, but we have them right here. We have Rivian. Let's start right here. Heisen Motors at 55 cents, bro. Went to 205 in 57 days. It's at $1.20 right now. Then you've got Vacasa. No, that's in 625. Then you have AYRO at 55 cents. Went to 80, is at 63. And then you got Neo, 760 to 10. I think it went to 17 on Neo. Let's take a look. Yep, Neo went right up here like 2-3 weeks ago to almost $17 on the Neo.
And where was it at when you did your pick on it?
At 760. All of them on May 22nd. They were all on May 22nd.
Nice.
Rivian went from 14 to 25. It's at 20. And this is the other one, SEV. It's called Spectra 7 Microsystems. Have you ever heard of that stock?
Not familiar with them. SEV.
Let's take a look and see what they do.
Spectra 7 Microsystems.
SEV. Here it is.
They're in semiconductors.
Yeah, but they're in the automotive industry in them semis. Here's a little info on it. Insiders own 54% of the company. That's a lot. That's a big amount. It's a nice amount. It has a target price of $2.23.
Here's one.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a funny one for you. So a couple of weeks ago, I had a meeting with a company called Principal Solar, and their symbol is PSWW. They're another pink sheet company.
Wow.
But do just take a look at this to pull
Yeah,
them up.
PSWW. I see them right here.
They're up 30% today.
Yeah, it's up nicely today on some
I don't
volume
know.
too.
Let me
189.
see.
The biggest volume day is right here, 15 million.
Yeah, they're kind of interesting. They have both oil and
yeah.
they
For you guys that like pinkies.
They have oil and gas, and they're taking Freightliner trucks, and they are retrofitting the engines from diesel to electric. So they're leaving the transmissions, but they're retrofitting them because Freightliner is the most common large vehicle, and so that's easy for them to retrofit. There's lots of them available. But I thought that
See,
was interesting.
guys, here's a pump and dump that came out in this newsletter the other day. They pumped it to $1 and everyone lost so much. It's 70 cents.
Which stock is this?
This
I
is
can't see it.
KULR. Seen a couple like you get these newsletters like that PS. I want to find some of these smaller undiscovered little gems are working. Let me give you a stock right here. Okay. I've had and watched this puppy for 3 years, bro. Let me show you how many times I have put this stock in the Mojo Swing Trade newsletter. You're going to be impressed. You ready? You're going to be impressed. All right, here it is. It's called, the first time I did it was right here at $1.35. It's called My Size. It was in 2020, 3 years ago. See it? It was going to make $3, then lose $3, then lose $2. But it's an Israel-based company that makes an application for the apparel industry. You know what they do?
What's that?
You can go on your phone in the store and you can try the clothes on with your own body, and it would show you what you look at, like with trying on the clothes without even going to the store.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And I knew back then, bro, that technology would be big. And I have, look how many times I've put this in the newsletter. That's once. That's March. Then again in April 6th. Look, 800% increase in earnings, 100% increase. It's tiny. They haven't even done nothing. And now they indicated a loss of 3 to a loss of 2 to a loss of $1. 12 million in the float. So I loved it. It hasn't moved again. Now it's based in, this isn't in July. Again, 800%. It's based in along this pattern with a 68 relative strength at $1.40. The volume's coming in. It didn't move. Finally, $1.40. It's moving a little bit. Then on March 26th, it's at $1.65. And this is the winner. That's it. So this is the stock, $1.50. It's never moved. Look at this is last call. 900% increase. 900. This company is a big growing company. Let me just close these stinkies now. That's how many times I've picked this thing, dude. Now look at it.
Now it's shooting to the moon.
MYSZ. Look at it now. It's gone like parabolic. Today it hit a high at 269. It can go up here to, where's this high? $3.45. Look at this stock. My size, volume coming in for the first time. So what's going to happen is this is my experience with these kind of plays. So let me show you. So this is a little drawing. You see this? This is volume. This is history that will show this is nothing. So this is no history throughout the whole life of this stock. Eventually, over the next 4 quarters of earnings, this will disappear, that will disappear, that will disappear, and all this will be gone. You won't even see it. All you'll see is the beginning of this volume. What's coming next is the big question mark. Will it continue the uptrend of increasing earnings and continue volume here? And this will come down naturally, go and eventually maybe go up and be a real deal stock over the next 8 quarters, 1 to 2 years. That's what I could see happening as no history erases itself. There's no history here. So this will move to the left and you'll have something new that'll transpire over the next 2 years. That's what I think could happen. And I've been waiting that long for my size to do that.
Nice.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, Mike. We've kind of gone long
Yeah,
here
it's a good
today.
one though. Stocks are always good.
Always is. Always is. All
So
right.
let me shut my screen share off. And thanks everybody for watching. Give us a like and a subscribe. And when we come on, you'll get notified from YouTube, guys. Let's go.